one of those, I think it was the move to amend, they had all the data and graphs of, hey, who wants this amendment? And it turns out like 88% of the people in there said, oh yeah, it's a bipartisan support. Every people want Overturn Citizens United. The only people who don't want it aren't technically people. They're, McDonald's is not a person, unfortunately. I don't know why I'm picking on McDonald's, but anyway, living, breathing people really seem to want this one, Lowe's.
Hey, exactly.
Sorry, did
Well,
I get canceled? Am I
yeah, you're
dead?
canceled. You're done.
Dang.
Sorry,
Okay.
bud.
Oh man, look at you. You're making it happen over there.
Welcome to the upside.
That was a
There.
real party. Wow, look at
Yeah,
the hair shake. Oh my goodness.
I can't help myself. But thank you, everyone, joining us here on the upside, your time traveler's guide through the present, past, present, future, all of that, all of the above. So happy you joined us. I'm one of your hosts, Los, aka the artist formerly known as Los, aka the your friendly neighborhood Los. And as always, I'm joined by.
Arsenio Bertram.
And we have a great episode, a slightly different episode. We're still looking at the upside, but
It's
diving into
slightly
the
different.
waters, diving into the waters of our government here in the United States. That is, if you're
Mm.
listening outside of the states, this will be some insight
Yep.
into how this machine works, so to speak. Uh,
Los, I just got word we've officially been canceled.
I see.
Yep.
Nice.
You
Okay.
can't. Nope.
Well, thank you, everyone. It's been a great
Yeah. Thank
run.
you guys. We
Anyway,
appreciate you.
yeah. So that's what we're talking about today are constitutional amendments
Mm-hmm.
and how you could change, update the Constitution. That's effectively what the amendments are. So again, those outside the United States, or if you need a refresher because public schooling did not teach you about the ins and outs of.
Sure didn't. We're not allowed to teach history. Nope.
So the document that sets the rules and
Yeah.
framework for how our government works is called the Constitution of the United States. And within that Constitution
Have
is
you have you seen it up close, Los?
at the when I went to DC, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
saw it. I
It's a
saw
thing
it.
of beauty.
It is
I did not know that the Magna Carta is also housed in the same building, or at least a copy of the
a
Magna
copy.
Carta.
Yeah.
That was pretty sick.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, our Constitution is amongst the oldest ones out there, by the way. Um,
Is that right?
yeah, yeah. And it's yeah, it was since 1789. It was created in 1787. Um, but yeah, the yeah, it was a process. It was called the Constitutional Convention, ratified in 1788, but it went into effect in 1789. So that makes it, do the math, 236 years old. So
Oh man.
within the Constitution, it includes a few like sections, and these are called
Yeah.
articles. And one of such Article 5 to be exact,
Mm.
is the article that outlines how to amend the Constitution or the process of amending the
Mm.
Constitution. And that includes, yeah, just requires that two-thirds of both houses, we now call them chambers of Congress. Um, yeah, requires two-thirds of the votes. That's with the House of Representatives and the Senate, or by a convention called by Congress at the request of two-thirds of state legislatures.
Yes.
So your state governments.
Mm.
So if I live in California, that's the Assembly and the Senate. for California. So you would think two-thirds of the 50 states, they would propose something, they'd have somewhat of a, yeah, convention, figure it out, and then they would pitch that to Congress so they
Mm.
could review and ultimately vote on it, hopefully.
So, based on what you just said, then my question would be: oh, by the way, San Marino, the little country of San Marino, apparently has the oldest constitution in the world, the year
Oh,
1600, which not that
nice.
much older than ours. Uh,
They,
so,
yeah, San Marino, by the way, are one of the worst soccer
basketball
teams.
teams.
Soccer
Oh, they're
teams.
soccer teams. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I thought I was going to make a joke. Turned out that was
they
almost true.
never win. But
Oh,
yeah,
wow. That's
they've won. Yeah, they
my new
won.
favorite soccer team then.
Yeah, San Marino. Anyway, go ahead.
So would you then say that based on what you just read, that the U.S. Constitution is one of the hardest major constitutions in the world to amend?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Mm,
And
what?
I think that's by design, right? Because you want stability and with in theory, right? There was a point where okay, if it gets to the point where this needs a sort of fundamental update,
Hmm.
then we could for the most part be in agreement of what this would be that we're updating
Yeah.
and how we would apply that, aka voting for it. So,
Very good, Los. You just happened to hit upon our first segment of the day, which is our one of our recurring segments. That's actually an upside. And what we do on this segment every episode is we look at the narrative that should be the downside, something that should be tough, and we change our perspective on it, and we look at the upside. And so the difficulty of changing the U.S. Constitution seems like the bad thing, but what Los just picked upon was the upside reframe called the difficulty is the durability.
mhm,
And which is basically what you just said, right? There's a very high bar to amendments, but it's not a bug. It's a feature that
mhm,
promotes a broad consensus. It means an amendment is not just a political fad, it's a foundational change that the vast majority of the country agrees on. It makes the Constitution an enduring document that protects the rights of citizens from being undone in a temporary majority, which I think you'd agree. You know, you and I are unfortunately old people now, Los.
we
And
are old.
yeah, and we have seen a lot of turnover in just populist ideas, I think, and U.S. government pushes, and so I think it's a good. I think it's a good strategy by design to not allow the Constitution to give in to temporary, populist movements. Would you agree?
Yeah, I largely agree. Yeah.
The difficulty is the durability, my friend.
Mhm.
I'm so proud of
Exactly.
you.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
would you like to talk about some of these potential amendments that we are looking at right now that have an upside?
Sure, sure. And this is our opinion, by the way. We're not
Hmm.
making this a universal upside for everyone. We
Yeah.
hope that the contents within these amendments relate to and resonate with a lot of you, but you might not agree. So we're not pushing it on you. This isn't our previous podcast, which was called Mad Mad World, in which
Yeah.
we were quite forceful, but this is just, hey, we see this as an upside. So maybe
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
a perfect world, this could go into effect in the Constitution.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Should I start?
sure, please start.
Okay, I disagree with everything Los just said. You have to listen to me on this one. This one is fact. You can't argue with it. and it's the proposed amendment to overturn Citizens United. If you notice that Citizens United was something that allows basically unlimited political campaign contributions and spending from gigantic corporations. They said that corporations are technically people. They can add as much to political campaigns as they want. And so overturning Citizens United would reduce the power of wealthy donors and corporations, giving the average person's vote more influence. The reason I had to disagree with Los is because in the show notes I have two organizations that are currently trying to push this amendment. One would be American Promise, the other would be Move to Amend. And while you were talking about, hey, these are just our opinions, one of those, I think it was the Move to Amend, they had all the data and graphs of, hey, who wants this amendment? And it turns out like 88% of the people in there said, "Oh yeah, it's a bipartisan support. Every people want Overturn Citizens United. The only people who don't want it aren't technically people. They're McDonald's is not a person, unfortunately. I don't know why I'm picking on McDonald's, but anyway, living, breathing people really seem to want this one loaf.
Hey, exact.
Sorry, did
Well,
I get canceled? Am I
yeah, you're
dead?
canceled. You're done.
Dang.
Sorry,
Okay.
bud. Yeah. So, but I mean, that's 100% right. I think with our opinion, like I said, most of you might
Mm-mm.
agree. In fact,
Mm-mm.
88% of you, unless you happen to be an executive at one of these corporations who heavily
Oh,
lobbies,
they don't want it
or
either.
you're a lobbyist as well. Um, yeah.
When they take off the suit, they want it.
Uh,
Sorry, I apologize to all of our corporate overlords that listen to this podcast and are very offended. I apologize. Sorry. I don't
okay.
want this to become Mad Mad World. You go ahead. What's the next one,
Please,
Los?
please. Okay, so we have the second one would be establish. By the way, there are currently 27 amendments in the Constitution, by the way,
When was the
FYI.
last one passed?
1992.
Oh man,
Wow.
Los hates that.
How old were you in 1992? 37?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Wow.
I know because I think I was 35 at the time.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
We're old
yeah.
men. We're old men.
Statler and Waldorf were just kids.
Okay, so the next one, establish a right to vote. So, surprise, surprise, the right to vote, don't tell your right wing friends, but the right to vote
Oh man.
is not covered in the Constitution. It's not protected per se, like explicitly protected. So, what this amendment would do would explicitly guarantee the affirmative right to vote for all citizens if right not explicitly stated in the Constitution. So unless in the Constitution says you can't vote because of this and this, like you're in prison or something like that, we're guaranteeing your right to vote. So it'd make it easier to challenge things like voter suppression,
Yeah, absolutely.
registration barriers, increasing political access for low income and marginalized groups, because you could say, hey, this violates my right to vote, right? So
Very
very
nice.
clear. Um, yeah. So who are there some movements to make this happen, Bertram?
So the Fair Elections Center is they're pushing for voting rights and election reform. They're a 501c3 organization based out of Washington D.C. Next time I'm there, I'll have to go visit them. Go get a slice of we the pizza too.
We the Pizza, is
Mm-hmm.
that a place in DC?
Oh yeah, man,
Never heard of it.
it's a Top Chef restaurant.
Oh
Spike
wow.
Spike from Top Chef. You want to watch Top Chef?
I've watched it a few times, but
Oh man,
yeah.
what do you cook? I bet you're a Kraft mac and cheese guy.
Oh
We
no.
cook real meals in this house, Los. All right,
I'm gonna
not your
look up We the Pizza though.
not your
Oh,
pizza rolls.
okay.
Okay,
While I do that, who
okay.
what's our next
So
amendment?
the next one is pushed by the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. That's at the state level effort, and this one is very popular. It is abolish the Electoral College, so it would replace the Electoral College with just a national popular vote, which again everyone talks about. People want to do it. Proponents argue that this would ensure every vote in every state is equally valued and incentivizing politicians to appeal to all citizens, including the poor and urban rural communities often overlooked in swing state strategies.
So Bertram, real quick.
Oh no.
What's the Electoral College? Is that like Stanford or
Oh
UCLA
my
or
gosh, that's the thing
oh,
that
the
picks the
Ohio
president,
State?
man. It's essentially when the guy on CNN or whatever. It's kind of like March Madness. It's like bracketology where instead, each state gets an allotment of points, and I feel like it is a lot like March Madness, right? Is then
Yeah.
you got your Trumps and your Bidens or Harrises. They got to try and put up enough points to get each state. So you gotta win the vote, and it's all crazy, man.
So,
And
yeah, the Electoral
yeah,
College is, in other words, the process of how we elect the president of the United States.
yeah,
Uh,
which is kind of strange because it's not a real
yeah,
democratic election because you're essentially picking the people, you're electing the people, and then
yeah,
your electors vote on them. It's
yeah.
really strange,
So, yeah,
man.
there's representatives that you basically
Yeah,
vote for to represent your vote. They cast your vote. So, yeah, whether you're
which
in the States and you didn't know about this or you're abroad, this is how it works here. So,
which technically they don't have to pick
they
what you
don't,
want,
yeah, they're
right?
not bound.
Because there's been some messed up things that have happened in our country. I
Yeah.
can't remember explicitly what the electoral college messed up, but when Hayes elected was kind of shaky, and
Hmm.
like John Quincy Adams was kind of shaky. I don't know if that
Hmm.
was explicitly the electoral college, so I don't want to speak out of
Yeah.
turn, but
So,
some very weird things have happened in our country.
yeah, there are points 535, which represents the combined amount of individuals in the House of Representatives, 435, and the senators of the United States, 100. First one to get to a majority, which would be 270, is the one who wins the election. And you might ask, why the heck would you do something like that? So, the initial argument and one continuing for those in favor of the Electoral College is for fair representation of smaller populated states. So, you know, people wouldn't just go to California, Texas, New York, Florida to get elected. They could, go to your Ohio's, which is pretty heavily populated now, but
Yeah,
South Carolina, Georgia, uh, they're not going to Wyoming, but you get it. And that's
yeah.
also the idea of why we have equal representation in the Senate, which again, many would argue, why should a place like West Virginia have just as
Hmm.
much pull as
Yeah,
California's? But yeah, that's neither here nor there. We're the upside. That's just the explanation behind the
yeah.
Electoral College.
I don't want to bog us down or anything, so I will not read the article, but I put in the University of Monmouth has a really good
In the
article by
description, in
Steve
the
Newman.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
I was gonna say go to the show notes. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly about the electoral college. So it talks about the purpose, the good, the bad, the ugly, and it just talks about some problems so you can formulate your own opinion.
yeah, cool. So those are our three, right? Is it we're all done?
No, man, come on. Those were just the addressing political and economic inequality. There was a couple ones that I talked with the wife about. We were like, yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. One was inspired by FDR. It was proposed but never ratified. A second Bill of Rights in 1944. It would be a right to basic income, an economic Bill of Rights. It would constitutionally guarantee rights such as a right to a decent job, a decent home, adequate medical care, and a good education. Los, how you feel about that one?
Largely, I'd be in support of it.
That's gonna be a hard one to get. That's a
Yeah,
tough
yeah,
one.
that'd be a hard one to get.
And then this one got shot down immediately. It was proposed in 1933 by Representative Wesley Lloyd. It is limiting extreme wealth income. It would include a maximum wage amendment or a constitutional measure to limit the accumulation of personal wealth above a certain threshold. Like $1 million is proposed in 1933. The goal is to enforce economic equity and prevent financial crises linked to extreme concentration of capital. I'd be down with that one.
Yeah, but somewhere our billionaire CEO listeners are doing one of those rich laughs.
Yeah, man, we just lost $50 billion in viewers, but it was only one guy.
Were there any? Yeah, I'm not putting you on the spot, so if you can't think of it, it's
No.
fine. But
Okay, go ahead.
were there any that like you personally would like to see enshrined?
Okay, so we'll go to our unsung hero of the upside segment
Mm,
this week.
hmm.
Okay, so his name was Ralph. Oh man, I just listened to the video. I think it's Abel. I don't know, Abele. I forgot. I listened to a video, so that I watched a documentary on this dude. So in Pennsylvania, apparently they have a lot of environmental rights, and the Environmental Rights Amendment in Pennsylvania, the state constitution was proposed by this conservationist Ralph W. Abel in 1969 when he became executive secretary of the Joint Legislative Air and Water Pollution Control and Conservation Committee. Jesus, what a long name. He was on something. Okay, in 1972 he was executive director of the Pennsylvania Fish Commission, and he was a really strong voice for protecting state lakes, rivers, and streams. And so I think a lot of traction is being built with this green amendment, right? That we need to do a better job of protecting our parks and fresh water, fresh air, all that stuff. We got to do a better job taking care of the planet. I think specifically in this country, right? So I think having an amendment for a green amendment would be a good idea. So that's my unsung hero of the week.
Nice. Brought
Ralph
to you
something.
by
Yeah.
nobody.
Yeah. Domino's Pizza.
Yeah, one that I would like to bring to the table is one that was nearly there, and that was the Equal Rights Amendment uh, that would explicitly prohibit sex discrimination. I would also include gender discrimination in there as well, uh, to ensure the right, especially as our trans, you know, friends are going through their stuff right now. They're going through, in my view, feels like the 1960s for them. So I would like some protection in place for both, men, women, anyone in between, outside, out there. So yeah, they could, and that would be another basis that they could stand on, similar to voting rights. If they face discrimination in court, that they could say, "Hey, this is violating my 28th, 29th Amendment right to, yeah, free of discrimination." Look it up, everyone. We might have that in our description slash show
Yeah.
notes. The Equal Rights Amendment, very nearly there. It was ratified by, I can't remember how many states, 30 something. But it
Oh,
stalled
dang,
out.
that's pretty close.
Yeah, it stalled out. And I think got the final state may have been, I'm totally just guessing
Maine.
here. Maine?
Nah, I
No,
don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just guessing.
Virginia, I believe it was.
It's
That might
always
have
Virginia,
been.
man.
So yeah, the deadline was like in 1979 or something like that. And later on, some states were like, "Oh yeah, we ratify it. Now we've changed our mind." So
Hey,
Virginia was, I
Indiana's on
think,
there.
Virginia was like the final one, I think. But there's like two or three more. But yeah, Equal Rights
That's
Amendment
funny.
sounds like common sense, right? That's because it is. Therefore, it should be in the Constitution, in my
Alabama
view.
has not ratified. Come on, Alabama.
Come on.
Arkansas, Arizona. You're starting to
And
see a pattern here.
yeah,
Florida, Georgia.
maybe yeah, sorry. And sorry, everyone. We did explain how you would propose an amendment, but to be clear, how you actually vote or how does an amendment get ratified, that requires 3/4 of the United States. So right now, that's 50 states. That means 39, 40 is what you're looking for.
Let's take a guess. So Indiana ratified in 1977. Take a guess when Illinois ratified. That's Chicago. That's Chi-Town, second city.
Um, Illinois,
Yeah.
were they what? Were they one of the holdouts? They may have been.
Well, give me a guess.
I don't think they did.
2018.
Jesus Christ.
That's not a good look. I mean, We expect it from Mississippi and Missouri, who have not ratified. We don't expect that from you, Illinois. You got to do better. Yeah, Virginia ratified in 2020.
My goodness. See, Virginia. Jeez.
I am on the ERA ratification map on equalrightsamendment.org if you're interested. Oh, Utah did not ratify. South
Come on, Utah.
Carolina. This is Oklahoma. Wow.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
somebody go look at how did Oklahoma get its shape? Go take a look at that. Go take a look at what's that little stick doing in Oklahoma. Do your research. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Nevada 2017. A lot of them in the 70s, man. Wow. That's very telling.
Hmm.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. A lot of us may want an amendment. You kind of covered it in the basic income, adequate healthcare, but one that guarantees healthcare for everyone. So
Seems should I say something mean?
don't. This is the upside,
Okay.
buddy.
This is the upside.
Yeah.
All right. Let's can we turn over to Madman World for a second? I got something to say about some of these states.
Nope, nope. Sorry.
Okay, fair enough. Dang, man.
Okay, Bertram. So
Okay,
I
fine.
guess I
What?
guess we should get to our weekly segment word of the week.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Our word of the week is entrenchment,
Mm.
which comes from the Latin trench for ditch or cutting. In constitutional law, entrenchment refers to a provision or document being protected from change or repeal by a particularly high threshold. The U.S. Constitution's Article 5, which you mentioned before, the amendment process ensures its principles are highly entrenched, meaning that they can only be changed with a broad and deliberate national consensus. And I like that word because it's better than talking about the process as gridlock, but more as intentional, protective, deep rootedness. I think, Los, that when we have an amendment, we want that to be the word of the land. We want that to be firmly entrenched so that you can't put in these rights and then take them away. I think that was George Carlin who said, if they could be taken away, they're not rights.
Yeah,
That's I think that's a really
that's good.
important uh it's important to discern.
Yeah. And that flows into the I don't even like the term common sense, but it's like common sense, right? When you think of
Yeah, come on, Thomas Paine.
something that just should be a given, then it should probably be an amendment. So that's where a lot of our own ideas came from. But even it is quite frankly ridiculous that the ERA was not ratified. Um, but yeah, and maybe we can then get our heads together and update it, to include, like I said, gender as well,
Yeah,
maybe even disabilities too, those with disabilities,
that would
um,
be wonderful.
those of socioeconomic backgrounds, so protect against discrimination there. But yeah,
I love it. Are you ready for our final game? Is there anything that you want
oh
to talk about?
no, let's get into the games. I like games.
Okay, so this is Los's reality check of the week. So I'm going to give Los a topic. I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock. Okay. And I have three items. You have to talk about whether they are myth uh, or true. Are they real or myth? You go ahead and you explain why. I don't think you need 2 minutes. So I'm going to give you 1 minute, Los. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
1 minute.
Are you ready, Los?
Yes.
Okay, myth or reality? Clock starts. Um, a single amendment can make poverty illegal and end all economic inequality.
So is that supposed to be true or false? Like
Is that
real
true or false?
myth?
Uh,
That's false
explain why.
because there's no amendment that protects you from being poor or disadvantaged.
But can it make poverty illegal? Can you make poverty illegal with a single amendment?
Oh no, 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 absolutely not. Can you make poverty illegal? No, that's just
Hmm.
yeah. I don't
Uh,
just
uh, all right,
yeah.
let's do the second one. The
Okay.
16th Amendment was originally a progressive tool to combat inequality.
16th
That
Amendment.
was
Yeah,
it created
income
the income
tax,
tax. Man,
1913.
he's so smart.
What? I,
Myth or reality.
that's reality. Yeah, yeah.
And last one, the U.S. Constitution's difficulty to amend is what stops movements from growing.
No, no. I think that's what causes it to causes movements is the difficulty to amend because it makes that an effort worth pursuing. You know, if there's a cause
Mm,
you want to gather consensus, you want to unite and rally everyone, you know, to yeah, make this happen, to influence your lawmakers to follow suit because they work
yeah,
for us. Yeah.
you got it in just under the wire, my friend.
Phew. Nice.
You did a great job. Yeah, it's to get 38 states, a movement has to be incredibly diverse and bipartisan, and I think that's really important. And it also, when we look at the upside, I know this is a tough episode because of everything that's been going on politically in this country, and you and I talk about it all the time. But I think there's hope when we talk about episodes like this because it to get these things accomplished requires us all to come together and be willing to have tough discussions, but respectfully and listen to each other and try and fix each other's problems, see these problems as opportunities. And I think there's an upside here.
Yeah, I do too. I think we have a path, right? When you think of what are the areas we could improve as a country, there is a pathway to do that and to make it concrete, right? The fact that you can't just have someone come in, a specific party, and then change things, and then the next party has to change it back, and then it just goes through this like ping pong game. Um, or what do they play now? What was that pandemic game?
Pickleball.
Pickleball. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Okay, come on, let's go play
Yeah.
some pickleballos.
Oh, do they still play it? Did that?
Oh yeah, there's a pickleball court right within walking distance from me. It's right at the park down the way.
I like the pickleball sound. I know that bothers people, but
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, there is a pathway. We can improve. We just need to get together, figure it out, and be grown-ups and don't be online too much. You know, I follow the you follow Subway Takes on Instagram
No,
oh, you should watch it.
I will now.
There's this guy, Kareem. He just gets on the train and gets people to talk about their takes. And so one of the takes was that the internet should have like business hours. And so, you know, just as you go to like a store or a deli or once it's closed, you know? And
That's a great idea.
the older I get, the more I sort of question why am I allowed to just go into these rabbit holes, just be consumed by everything? Like, why does my computer let me have 200 tabs open?
And
Like, what?
have online libraries where it's like, oh man, the library is 24 hours. You can go in
Yeah,
and check out books all
yeah,
hours of the day, but hey man, you can't be going on Reddit past eight
yeah.
o'clock.
And to accommodate lifestyles, maybe you set your own business hours, but like once it's closed, and you just have to wait till whenever, and then
Do the
like
same with like Grubhub and Uber Eats and all that stuff. So you can't be ordering McDonald's at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's not healthy.
But yeah, so that's the upside today. Bertram, any final words from your
I just love
side?
you, man. I think we can get some of these done.
Okay. I'll work on it tomorrow. So thank you
Equal
everyone.
equal rights amendments the closest, you
Yeah.
think?
We
Okay.
we we technically got there, but we just need to formalize it now. Okay. So that's it. Thank you so much for listening, watching. If you're on YouTube, hello, hello. Press the like, subscribe if you're not already. Those listening on wherever podcasts, make sure you're following or subscribe to us
Yeah.
so you know when new episodes come out. And you share this with your friends, family, worst enemies, everyone in between, so they could see the other side. And that is
especially
the upside.
especially your worst enemies. I never thought we'd say that on this podcast, but this is an episode to send to your worst enemies because then we might be able to come together, find some common ground.
Your parents on Thanksgiving. Play this on Thanksgiving when you guys are arguing.
That would be an enemy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be one of my worst enemies. Yep, you're right. You got it there.
All right, everyone. But on behalf of Bertram, I'm Los, and I'll see you not just on the other side, see you on the upside. Good night.